Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Now, when you think about this statement, it says man-made religion. Now, these men is from one nation, and they're from the same nation. So I wouldn't even use the term man-made, you see. But let's go to Daniel to bring off that precept. Daniel the 12th chapter. Daniel the 12th chapter. Alright. Daniel 12 verse 10, it says, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly. And none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. Okay, the wicked. Who is this wicked that can't understand? You see, and who had the possession of the scroll? Because when you jump up in Daniel chapter 12, it tells you in verse 4, it say, this is Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. So these words in this book is sealed up. You see, it's shut up, and these people's the wicked can't understand it, and it only was gonna become open until the individuals who are wise can uh, open the book and get the understanding. Now, when you look at how these people's and when these people started these so-called religions or philosophies, you go from 1600 to the 1900s, and we know they all come from one nation, and this nation had another group of people in captivity at this time. And the people are still in captivity to this day. So let's go into the captivity part, and then we're gonna go from there. Now when you go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, it says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. How was he gonna bring them in Egypt? Now let's jump back over to verse 29 and 50. It says, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Verse 50, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. So this nation that was going to bring the Israelites into bondage again with ships, or into slavery again with ships, because that word at Egypt is a Greek word for bondage. And so this nation in Daniel was called the wicked, and they couldn't understand and open the book. They couldn't open the seals of the book. The book was sealed to them. They couldn't understand it. Now when you go to let's see here. Go to Malachi. Let's identify who is known as the wicked. What nation is named as the wicked? Okay, go to Malachi chapter 1. Malachi chapter 1, verse 4, and it's going to tell you who is named the wicked. It says, whereas Edom says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus says the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord has indignation forever. So these individuals was the border of wickedness, the nation of Edom. And so they had the Israelites in captivity, and they put them in captivity on slave ships. Now let's get this slave ship situation to confirm it was talking about Edom, because Deuteronomy didn't say Edom. It just said that the Lord will bring a nation from afar. So what nation was this that he brought against the Israelites to put them in captivity? Okay, let's go to Joel 3. It say in 3 and 6 it say, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have he sold unto the Grecians. So Joel calls them Grecians. So we know who the Greeks was in history, who is mostly known to be Greeks. And most of the archaeology shows a certain group of people to be Greeks. And most of these people on here look like them. But let's go into Amos and get who these Greeks was, and who these men are that started these philosophies. Starting at verse 6, it says, thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they carried away captive the whole captivity, to deliver them up to Edom. Now Malachi chapter 1 verse 4 said Edom was the border of wickedness. And so in Daniel 12:10 said the wicked was unable to understand the book, the words in the book, and unleash the seals of the book. The wicked couldn't do that. Now in verse 12 it reiterated, in Amos chapter 1 verse 9, it reiterates who had the Israelites in captivity, what nation this was that was brought from afar, like Deuteronomy said, with slave ships. It says, thus says in verse 9 of Amos chapter 1, thus says the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remember not the brotherly covenant. So Edom had the whole captivity. That means all tribes, the 12 tribes, was in captivity to Edom. And the Lord brought them from afar with ships to put the Israelites into captivity. Now, to give you 2 more precepts, Jeremiah wrote Lamentations, and he put something in Lamentations 2:20, Lamentations 4:21. It say, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. So Edom dwelled in the land of Uz. So when you go to Job, Job was involved in this situation. Job was involved in this situation. Now Lamentations said that Edom dwelt in the land of Uz. Job 1 and 1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. And that man was perfect. Okay, this perfect man in the land of Uz, what did he say about these people in the land of Uz? Job 9 and 24, it says, the earth is given into the hand of, guess who? The wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? You see, so these individuals, they covered the faces of the judges. And these next two verses is going to show how the ones who had the slave ships, uh, you know, they were the ones that is just who Job is talking about. Edom. Edom was that nation. Now when you go to verse 25, before that, now they covered over the faces of the judges because they put their face on Yahweh Shah, who they ignorantly called Jesus Christ, and they put their face on Yahweh, who they ignorantly called God. And so when you get going down to verse 25 in Job 9:25, it says, now my days are swifter than a post, for they flee away, they see no good. 26, they are passed away as the swift ships, as the eagle that hasten to the prey. You see the word in there you now in Deuteronomy 28:49 and 50, it talked about the eagle coming. They was gonna be coming as swifter than the eagle. And they was, when they came, they was gonna come with slave ships. You see, and so right under when it talks about the earth was given to this wicked nation. Job threw in it, or the Most High put in the swifter than they were swifter, like an eagle and like slave ship. Now we know that these philosophies that they come up with is just contrary to the whole book, because prophecy is how the book is organized. It's organized with prophecy, and these dragons don't go by prophecy; they go by their philosophy. But the prophecy give everything to Israel, and let's go to the main prophecy that lets you know about Edom and Israel, or Esau, because Esau's children was called Edom. Let's go to 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, verse 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You see, prophecy is how you go uh, get an understanding, not with your philosophy that God loves everybody, and and you know the Edomites is the Israelites, or they merged into the Israelites or was absorbed by the Israelites. No, one nation can't absorb another nation. You see, they had the Israelites in captivity, and the Israelites couldn't absorb nobody, and they was in captivity even after Jerusalem was destroyed. So how can they absorb somebody, and especially absorb the Edomites? But like 2nd Ezra 6 say, for Esau is the end of the world. The end of the world would be ruled until Esau's kingdom fall. then when his kingdom fall, Jacob is going to be the beginning of the rulership after him. But I'm going to leave it there. All praise to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem and Kakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace of the elect worldwide. The kingdom is at hand. Shalom.